Rolling camera. 3, 2, 1. Rolling sound. Give me a clap. Who are you?
My name is Aaron Riel Thompson. More often these days, I'm going as Riel Thompson in my professional life, but it's been my name. My dad is Aaron Thompson, and I've been called Riel my whole life. So it was only fitting to once coming into my own person that I take on my own identity, which is me, Riel. And I am a graphic designer, art director, senior art director, photographer. Um, very much addicted to anything visual and um, things that intrigue my eye. Mainly, drawn through my upbringing of hip hop and you know that whole culture. It's probably been one of the main drivers. Even skateboarding and streetwear is a huge factor for me as well.
What was your childhood like? And what were some important lessons that you learned then that you carry with you today?
My childhood was, I would say, it was good. It was good. I had my parents were together, grandparents on both sides. I grew up in that family environment that I didn't realize how many people didn't have. I learned a lot from them, from the aspects of family and togetherness and having that village to raise, a child. A Some things that I would say still are with me that I wouldn't necessarily deem as the most positive things, and but they really stem from my childhood and I still deal with them till this day, is with race. I grew up in Connecticut um, where I went to a predominantly white school, white
Oh,
town.
so sorry.
Are you good?
All right, so my card just filled up.
Okay.
This is actually the second time. So I'll be cleaning this bad boy off probably tonight. Let me move some videos, and then what we're gonna do is we'll just start from the top. But that first portion until it cut off will be included.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
all right. Rolling camera. Oh shit. Well, that'll be interesting audio for one day. That shit was just recording the whole time. All right, that's gonna be a long ass audio clip. Actually, let me check this thing real quick and make sure it's not like too full.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Rolling sound. Who are you?
My name is Aaron Riel Samilio Thompson. That's my full name, but I often go by Riel, which I do in my professional life now, and pretty much have like throughout my whole life, family, friends. My dad is his name's Aaron Thompson, so me coming into my own person, taking on who I am, which is and who is Riel. And also, I'm a designer, graphic designer, senior art director, photographer, based in Atlanta. Been here for just about 13 years now. Uh, Originally from Connecticut, moved down to go to school, never went back. Um, Nothing really back home in Connecticut, minus the my family, friends, and the leaves changing during fall, which is always a treat. But didn't it wasn't enough for me to go back.
What was your childhood like, and what were some important lessons that you learned then that you carry with you today?
Childhood overall was good. It's pretty good. Had my parents together, grandparents on both sides together, which all together raised me. You know, grandparents' houses, hanging out with them every other weekend, learned a lot from them and from their wisdom, of being that elder figure in my life. Um, but what I would say has carried with me that is probably at the forefront of my mind, when which I would say wouldn't necessarily be the most positive thing, is having to do with race, having to do with me being the black kid in a predominantly white school, white town, and know that I was going to be the one that quote unquote was going to get in trouble if anything went down, or I was going to be the one called out, or I would stand out just because of my skin color. Um, it's unfortunate. It haunts me still, and haunts so many people still to this day. I'm working my way through it to be more forthcoming with myself, my personality, who I am, who I really am, and not hiding in what I think I should be, and what I feel like society deems me as a black man at this point. Um, it really, I feel like, held me back in a lot of ways and gave me a lot of insight in a lot of ways. It allowed me to observe and reflect. I am not necessarily the loudest person in the room, definitely an introvert. I mean, it probably helped me lean into visual art, visual communication, and from observing and knowing how people move and knowing what to do in certain situations. Um, but overall, childhood, it was good. Loving family. Um, there was hard times. Definitely, my dad wasn't the easiest person to get along with. It took me moving away to actually get a good relationship with him. Very stern, brutal, I would say, in a lot of ways. Hard on me, but it made me strong in a lot of ways, but it also gave me a few other things, anxiety, depression types of things that I would contribute to that as well. But you know, nothing is perfect, and I know that I am the person I am because of all of these things, good, bad, ugly. So I'm content as of right now, moving forward, knowing that I have recognized all these things and will continue to push forward.
How does a flower grow?
How does a flower grow? A flower grows in stages. Um, I guess with all of those parts and pieces from that initial seed or sprout all the way up till that beautiful bloom of that actual flower. There's many different stages that it can go through, and there's a lot of different things that could happen to it along the way, especially if it's out in nature. you know it could be food, it could be um, something just to look at when you walk through, have a hike, and walking through nature is something that you can admire. Um, a flower, I feel like, has a lot of different purposes for, if it's for beauty, if it's for nourishment, if it's for education, to know those different stages of life and ultimately death, that quick uh cycle, between, depending on where you live, that spring to winter, or fall, whatever it is.
Please give me a random number from 1 to 100.
um Say 86.
Is a life exclusive of pleasure with no suffering worthwhile?
Say that one more time.
Is a life that's exclusive to pleasure with no suffering worthwhile?
Nah, definitely not. um you need, in my personal opinion, you need that suffering, and on the other side of that can be that pleasure, it can be that light. I would say one thing that really resonates with me and what I keep in my mind a lot is there can't be light without the dark. And if it's just pleasure all the time, whatever you're going for, it's not worth it, because I don't think you're gonna have you're not gonna know what real pleasure is without being in those dark places. I feel like I have been very low in my life, and I've experienced uh pleasures that are on the opposite side of that. And I think that exploration of that darkness ultimately leads to that other side, that light that we I feel like many people are seeking. um the Yeah, nothing comes easy, and if anybody tells you different, I don't believe it, and I don't think you should either.
Please give me another number from 1 to 100.
17.
What's your philosophy in life? What's the main thing that led you to that belief?
um it's probably that the work is never going to be done, that you just got to keep going. um Life is a process, that and it's an experience. I feel like we're here to explore, to expand, to grow. And without that, there is a lack of life. So go through, experience everything, learn as much as you can, go as hard as you can. Um, be proud of the effort that you put forward. The the effort that I am generating at this point in my life, is as much as I can. And I try to optimize that daily. Some days it's harder than others. If it's a depressed day or whatever it may be, I try my best to continue to search for the best me, the best life. Um, optimizing myself to my highest potential, my highest being. That's purpose for me. That's what I'm going for. There's many different things that I think I'm trying to explore and feel out to know if that's where I fall or that's how I want to go ahead and live my life out. But hopefully, I got many more days to explore as many opportunities and possibilities that I can.
Please give me another number from 1 to 100.
Um, say 82.
Do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Elaborate on why or why not.
Extraterrestrial life. um, yeah, it's got to be right. Like when you look up in the sky, there's billions of stars, galaxies that we can't even comprehend how much and how vast the universe is. And I think it is very, you know, pompous to think that we are the only ones. And I feel like they're the idea of thinking that and the wonder in that is worth exploring. The When you think about extraterrestrial life, you may think about movies, all this and that, but just the idea of there being another planet that's similar to this that can generate life in a particular way, and you know, it it can be people or creatures, extraterrestrial beings that are just completely opposite to us, and we don't understand them, they don't understand us, um, is very intriguing and something, you know, a thought is worth and to believe in is cool. So yeah, I think so. I think it's I believe in them.
Please give me one final number from 1 to 100.
Um 31.
What did your past relationship teach you?
Past relationship teach me. My past relationship taught me to find my own way of being in a relationship. I mentioned earlier, like I grew up with family, the grandparents on both sides, married, mom, dad married, very codependent relationships. Um, and there's a lot of anxiety built in within that, a lot of controlling aspects built in within that. I learned to let my significant other, my partner, be who they are and not try to overshadow them, not try to control them in any way. I am completely hands off. I don't want there to be any pressure of me and my ego, what I think is right, being reflected on them. And, it would it stunts my growth, stunts their growth. It ultimately is not pleasant for either one of us. So coming from a relationship to that from that and being into a relationship like I am now, Um, it's best this way for at least for me personally. Let somebody live how they want to live. Let them do what they want to do. You can only be in control of yourself, and you know, there's no need for that expectation from the other person, right? Like, that love, that care, yeah, it comes, but it's not always when you need it. It's not always when it's best, or there's give and take there. You're an individual with somebody else that also has their own thoughts, feelings, emotions. Be respectful of that. Um, be kind. Be generous with your time as much as you can give. Um, I give as much as I can, and I want to be as kind and as you know just loving as possible. Love over everything. Give the person that space and grow. You can grow together, you can grow separately. Time will tell. Let it be what it's going to be.
How do you find meaning in your daily experience, and what propels you through life?
Meaning in my daily experience is day to day, honestly. um I wish I could be more consistent, and but I think it may not be the healthiest thing, but to get up and get to work, get up and you know put my head down and do the best work I can that day is something that you know keeps me going. I think that more than anything, that I would like to do that more for me than others, just because I do give a lot and do make other people's dreams come true through my efforts. And it's kind of hard to take a back seat and do that for other people and not myself. But new day, every day, and we gonna, I keep going. I keep trying to push my thing forward. And the thought of a future that I will create, that I am proud of, happy about, based off of my decisions and my will to push forward, is something that keeps driving me forward.
What has the experience of living been like for you to this point? What can people learn from your life?
Life has been ups and downs, right? I very hard on myself. I think that can be a good thing, and is a double-edged sword. I'm so hard on myself sometimes that it cripples me, right? I can't get up and do anything. I don't want to do anything because I feel so terrible. But to push through that feeling, when I'm ready, and even when I think I'm not ready to push through it, and just going for it allows me to get into those some of those dark areas, right? Explore some of those dark areas that allow me to flourish and produce something that I thought I couldn't. Um, and a major thing with me is like I create things. Like I create things from sometimes nothing. And where they come from? Is it that darkness? Is it that light? Is it a combination of that both, that yin and yang type of thing that's out there, that um overall consciousness of all humans that we can pull from. I don't know what it is, but I go for it, and I hope for the best. And it's been working out pretty well, and I've learned how to control a lot of those things now, and control myself through one method or another. Exercise, meditation, breathing exercises, and things like that. So
This is the big question and the reason we're here. Life is fleeting. We never know when it's our time. If these were your last words ever recorded, what would you say about your life and your legacy?
oh man, um like, not yet. Like, uh I've done I've done well. I have done what I could have done with my time. I'm not going to dwell on anything that I haven't done or anything like that, but I think that, you know, leading with love, leading with that discipline of trying to be better has got me to where I am, which I can be proud of. I want more. I want to continue, but if I had to stop, I would hope that at least the people around me would recognize that I did try hard. I try my best. I would hope that a little brother would, at least continue on, knowing that he saw me do what I was here to do for the period that I was here for. And, you know, like, just do your best. That's all I can say is just do your best, and as frequent as you can do it, do your best.
So I'll ask you one final time. Who are you?
I am Riel Thompson. I am seeking to become my highest self.
Thank you so much for your time.